So a bit of a rant, but I am getting a bit delusioned with these horror franchises that keep getting spewing out with no purpose other than to collect big bucks based on the legacy that these characters have. I was looking forward to Halloween Ends. I watched the first of the trilogy and thought Breen, the director, he'd done a good job, wiping out a number of different sequels and some trash movies, let's be honest, and going back to basics. Halloween Kills left a few questions. I just watched Michael getting shot, beat up one by one, smashed to pieces by the angry Haddonfield mob, only for him to get up and destroy every single mob member before killing Laurie's daughter, and certainly leave me excited to see the direction Halloween Ends goes for the finale. Okay, so let me quickly recap on the movie, and if you haven't seen the movie, please be aware there is spoilers here. So the movie starts with Corey, a new character taking up a babysitting role. Myers is mentioned a few times, but you get an idea that anything that happens won't involve Michael, due to wondering who the hell these people are and where this is leading in the grand scheme of the movie. Anyway, Corey comically accidentally kills the kid, and we head back to familiar faces from the previous film. Halloween Kills left a lot of questions to be answered. It had a storyline, it had an idea of where it wanted to go. So let's get back to basics. So we've got Laurie leads a dialogue telling us that it's been 4 years, Myers disappeared while everyone is trying to move on with their lives. Okay, so did nobody bother looking for him after all the death in the second film? Did everyone just think, okay, well that just happened, let's just move on? Did nobody care he was still roaming free? God knows, but this is where the alarm bells started ringing, and this could literally be one of the biggest anticlimaxes in movie history. So the story continues with Corey, who is a bit of a pariah in Haddonfield now, cleared of manslaughter after presumably explaining the freak nature of the opening death. Anyway, an altercation with your cliche horror movie bullies sees him meet with Laurie, who then introduces him to Alison to heal some wounds. Alison's a granddaughter, by the way, and to try to set up a weird, forced romance in this movie. We meet Corey's mum, who is clearly over the top with her protectiveness over her son, but again, I'm sat in the theatres wondering what is going on, where is Myers, and I'm already fearing for the worst. Like all horror movie bullies who take bullying to murderous extremes, Corey ends up nearly killed from a fall from a bridge from one of his bullies before he's dragged into sewer by some unknown person. Who's dragged him there? Well, we can have one guess, and okay, we might be about to Halloween this movie up. Corey wakes up, wanders along in the sewers before being grabbed and strangled by a certain Michael Myers. Yeah, remember him, this film should be about him. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, and it's about time as well. Anyway, Myers lets him go after some uncomfortable glare into his eyes and leaves him to get out of there. Why did he let him leave? God knows. An old guy outside the sewer starts rambling to Corey, asking why Michael let him leave before threatening Corey, who then stabs and kills the guy. Okay, at this point, all my fears are coming true. Is Corey going to team up with Myers? What the fuck is going on? Myers doesn't team up with people. Halloween Kills ended by telling us that he's evil, he isn't human anymore, blah blah blah. And I'm now led to believe that he does have compassion. He's happy to have a little apprentice. Anyway, okay, Myers has at least made an appearance, and it was great that they decided to give Myers a cameo in his old movie, so maybe we're about to Halloween this movie out of it. Wrong, we are back to the romance and a scheme to run away from Haddonfield from Corey and Alison. Look, if I wanted the story about young romance running away, I'd have spent my time watching another movie. I like my Michael Myers in my Halloween movies, guys. Anyway, bottom line is, Corey is evil and starting to slip into a slippery slope, and I think the movie's telling us that he's a product of Haddonfield's reaction to him. Corey kills some side characters, Myers finish off another side character. In the same sequence, we have a moment where Corey goes to sewer and takes Michael's mask off him forcefully, let me add. Okay, I've just watched in Halloween Kills Michael annihilate around 30 armed people with weapons, but this kid can just take his mask after overpowering him. A few forgettable kills later from Little Myers Jr., and they were inevitably the local psychotic bullies, and a DJ who'd badmouthed them earlier. We then get to see Corey go out to take Laurie. Outwitted by Laurie, he's laid on the floor after being shot, yet still has enough left in him to stab himself in the neck with a huge knife. Even with the stab in the neck, he's still alive. Am I meant to believe this kid's invincible, or what? I thought it was just Myers that was exclusively immortal in his movies. Anyway, Michael comes along, breaks Corey's neck, and gets his mask back. Now we're talking. Michael versus Laurie, the showdown we've all been waiting for. For all its flaws, the ending still gave us at least what I expected from this film. Although I'm confused, because Laurie managed to do what the strong mob failed miserably in the last film. Anyway, Alison joins in, and Michael's dead. They fucking nerfed Michael hard in this film. What has happened to him in the 4 years he went missing? I know you might say, well, he was hiding and lost all his powers, but he was in jail for 40 years in the first film. Still came back and took out numerous security guards, policemen, 10 firefighters, the angry mob. So what happened? Not only did he get owned by some 21-year-old ex-babysitter, he also got tore a new one by Granny Laurie. I mean, come on, talk about destroying a legend. I'm going to think about this logically, guys. So Halloween Kills clearly states that he gets his power from killing.
But a mortal man could not have survived what he's lived through. The more he kills, the more he transcends into something else impossible to defeat.
So maybe that's why he was so weak, and let's not forget he did take one hell of a beating in Halloween Kills. However, nice try, writers. You can't tell us he gets his power from killing and then have the crazy old homeless man tell us in the scene with Corey that he's been killing people in the sewer. And why was Corey the exception? Which begs the question, if he was killing people in the sewer, did those people not have family? Did they just disappear and Haddonfield residents just like, yeah, we know Michael's on the loose, but hey, what are you going to do? Anyway, one last final scene sees him parading Michael's body at Haddonfield before sticking his body in a grinder to finally give Haddonfield and we the viewers some closure on the Myers saga. And that's it. This movie fails on so many levels. I'm literally not sure where to start. The introduction of Corey for me was a huge fail. The lack of Myers was a huge fail. The story of evil transferring to Corey was a fail. If this was a standalone Halloween film, then I'd understand where the writers were heading, but this was supposed to be the last part of a trilogy. You can't just set two films up, progress the story in Halloween Kills, and then set up a final chapter of the trilogy, and then be like, okay, here's a new character. No, that is not how it works. No fucks are given from the town about what happened at the end of the second film. I expected Laurie and the survivors maybe plotting, hunting in a cat and mouse type game with Myers, but no, he goes to the sewer, they just carry on. My initial reaction after the film concluded was that the writers just ran out of ideas or they just couldn't be bothered. The last 20 minutes of the film could have literally been added to the end of Halloween Kills and that could have been it. Could have been conclusion to the story. However, obviously, missing out the third part of a trilogy doesn't make money, so we had to sit through just over an hour of nonsense to get to the Laurie versus Myers showdown we expected. Horror films and Hollywood in general seem to have run out of ideas lately and they're heavily reliant on reverting back to old characters, old stories and rehashing of old classics. I don't mind them bringing back legends like Myers, but at least try to do the original some justice. Like I said, if this was a one-off movie, I'd get it. I wouldn't have enjoyed it, but still, I would understand the reason for the change of direction. But don't bring a trilogy to the cinema, change directing the final installment. I mean, come on guys, between all people involved in the writing and producing, did not one person raise this as an issue? Now, obviously, if you think you won't see Myers again, you'll be happy to know that I've got some magic beans to sell you guys. However, if by some miracle Hollywood finds new and fresh things to give us the consumers, then this is truly a terrible way to finish an iconic character with as much as a limp into the sunset. Very, very sad to see. Halloween End is just a number of different horror films that are really, really starting to piss me off, guys, and it won't stop there. Next on my list is Jeepers Creepers Reborn, and hopefully you enjoyed this video and that next video will be out hopefully in the next week, guys. You can hear me rant about Jeepers Creepers. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Take care.